Yes, the monster did what the monster does.
It was just the typical performance that I was expecting from him.
I think the thing is he's learned from when his Neri fight and he got knocked down.
What was his ranking, 54th or something?
Do we think there's anybody in this division really who's even got remotely a chance against him?
There's Picasso, Akhmadaliev and Goodman.
Akhmadaliev?
He won't fight Akhmadaliev, I told you this.
Well, I think after that he steps up and then it becomes interesting.
I think you'll be very, very surprised with the landscape of Inoue in the future.
Welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to be looking at the result of the fight between Naoya Inoue and Joon Kim that took place on the 24th, on Friday. Yes, the monster did what the monster does. And basically what we said in our video, he felt him out because obviously it wasn't the opponent he was supposed to be having. For 2 or 3 rounds, then played with his food a bit, then got beckoned on, and then basically, because he's a respectful guy, the guy beckoned him onto his chin, and he tapped him on the chin and took care of the fight. Enough said, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. It was just to save the main card, really, wasn't it?
I think he's done it for the undercard and so they can get their fights and paydays and him just keep busy.
Yeah, like you say, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
He said 4th and 5th round.
The guy wasn't...
Yeah, he's respectful. I think the thing is he's learned from when his Neri fight where he was over eager and he got knocked down, so he does feel out a bit now. And then he just wound it up, isn't it? Just went through the gears. I'm not sure he got past like second gear, but first to second gear went through the gears. I mean, to be fair, Kim was brave. He came to fight rather than just run around. Not sure that's the best tactics, but at least it made it, quick and interesting. And yeah, the body shots are just...
Yeah, I mean...
Because he got taken up by the headshot, isn't it? But if you actually watch, it's the delayed reaction from the body shot which killed him, is because he couldn't get off his stool afterwards, which is the headshot he seemed to be okay with. It was the body he was feeling.
Oh, that's what he's good at, and he gets the hands down and then takes him up the top. It was just the typical performance that I was expecting from him in that type of fight.
Professional, isn't it? That's how you're supposed to deal with last-minute stand-ins.
Yeah, I mean, what was his ranking, 54th or something?
Well, actually, he's ranked 15 on one of the
it's still not
11th in the WBO. So he's not that bad. It's just the golfing class was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, Fulton was ranked number 1, isn't he? In all of the things, they reckoned he was the best, and the difference in class between Fulton and Inoue was huge. Do we think there's anybody in this division, really, who's even got remotely a chance against them? I mean, there's 2, I think if we do the thing, they're saying Vegas around about May time, isn't it? I think, or somewhere there. And then...
Against Picasso.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Picasso fight. That's what Aram, they got in the ring, and he said as well. I didn't say who he's going to fight, but they said Vegas.
It's going to be Picasso.
Yeah. And then the second one in Saudi, which I presume will be our man Akhmadaliev.
He won't fight Akhmadaliev, I've told you this.
He doesn't need to.
He's not going to fight him.
He just destroys whatever.
You're scared of him?
Well, I think there's a thing, I didn't know this, isn't it? But one of the interesting things on the build-up on the commentary, they were saying is there's a record for the amount of defences of an undisputed title. So that's why he might be sticking around and getting enough for them. Because I think he's fairly close, isn't it? I'll look it up while you give your thoughts on that.
Who's he going to fight then? If it's not going to be Akhmadaliev, pick another top...
I don't think Goodman's going to get a go, is he now? Do you think God will get him back? Because they're saying Goodman's injury now needs like 6 months. So it would fit that sort of time. But is it big enough now? What a disappointment.
There's 3 people left in that division. Right? There's Picasso, Akhmadaliev and Goodman. And they're the 3. I don't rate Goodman, but he's up there. He's he's
a contender one, isn't he? So
Picasso, good record, good fighter. Akhmadaliev. I just don't see that fight happening for one reason or another. Is he interested in the most defense records?
I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. I didn't know because we've never thought of it, but like I heard it. I'm just trying to look up what it is.
I think in a way he'll be disappointed he had to fight Kim. He'd be glad he's got out.
Yeah, he sort of apologised to the crowd and then said thank you for coming. I didn't expect so many people, blah, blah, blah.
I think, he'll be disappointed that his opponent was Kim. I was disappointed. I think, look, I'm an Inoue fan, but Picasso's a good fight. It is a good fight, Picasso's earned his shot. I would just want to see the Akhmadaliev fight. The only other thing I can see is him moving up. And he'll fight Nick Ball.
Yeah, scratch that. I'm not sure what the record is because he's got 5, isn't he? But there's 15 for Klitschko. And he had 14 and Jose Napoles and Hagler 13. But I think it's I think it's in 4-belt era that he may be near the top of the pile.
Yeah, I just see it's going to be Picasso in Vegas. And then if it's a big Saudi event, it's going to have to be someone really, really good. So I'd go for Nick Ball.
Well, I think he's going to fight at this weight this year. And then Nick Ball is the one after that. I think they're going for next, either later, like December time one.
If he's on a Riyadh season card, it's got to be someone really good.
Yeah, that's why I said Akhmadaliev. I'm not sure he's really good, but...
Akhmadaliev's the only one in that
it's
division.
Like you said, there's only the 3 contenders, really, isn't it? There's
that's why I don't know.
Let me just get up the rankings.
I don't know whether that division... whether...
I mean, the thing is, he's already really fought all of them. But if you go to the list, Tapales is still by ring. He's the number 1, but he's beaten him. Akhmadaliev's number 2. Goodman's number 3. Neri's number 4. He's beaten him. Picasso's number 5. So then Masood, but I think he's not there yet. He's only started.
Not a big enough name.
Yeah. Dehaney he's beaten already. And then the rest aren't really big enough. And then the other ones that were names he's already beaten. Or they've moved out the division. So... out of that, he's beaten the number 1. So there's Akhmadaliev, Goodman, and Picasso, at the top 5 by ring. Let me just check who is...
That's it. That's all there is in that division.
Yeah, there's others, but they're coming up, innit? There's Dennis McCann, but isn't he the one who's drugged up? What is that? Allegedly.
It's not even worth mentioning their names.
I think everybody else is either...
There's 4 names in that division now. That's Inoue, Picasso, Akhmadaliev, Goodman.
So Picasso makes sense as the Vegas one, because I don't think the other 2. And then it's either Goodman or Akhmadaliev, I think, in that.
Nah. See, I think...
And I think then he's done. I think after those 2, he's going to be done
if he's going to
122.
If it's going to be around a Saudi thing, that's what they're talking about, it should be Akhmadaliev, but I can see it being Nick Ball.
Well, it depends if they can get Akhmadaliev, but I think Akhmadaliev wants it. In a way, he's not going to say no because he's...
But Inoue has said no 3 times.
Yeah, that's because he was a nobody. Now he's beaten everybody else. He'll be the only one
Inoue
left.
said no 3 times. You need to get that in your head.
Yeah, because he's a nobody. He's got no belts. What is his straps?
He was mandatories.
Yeah, which one is he mandatory for? Let's see. Goodman's the mandatory amongst
You
them.
need to read your facts on this because he has said...
Yeah, I know he said
maybe
no.
Inoue hasn't said no, but Inoue's team have said no.
WBA's mandatory, isn't he? Akhmadaliev, so... Because Goodman's actually mandatory on 2 of them. I didn't know that. I thought he was just the IBF, but he's WBO as well. And Picasso's the mandatory on a WBC. So yeah, Picasso and Akhmadaliev make sense, if depending on Goodman's injury. And then the only other fight they're worth having is Goodman. Except I'm not sure you'd want to give him a chance again after messing you around. It's basically cancelling 3 times.
As he can, He's had a bad cut, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then it's reopened again. Can it be helped? No, unfortunately not.
But he cancelled it before that as well, isn't it? Because he was supposed to fight like mid-2024. That's why he fought Dehaney. Because it wasn't supposed to be Dehaney, it was supposed to be Goodman who was fighting.
I don't know. It's all boxing politics. And
I mean, the logical ones is Picasso then Akhmadaliev in Riyadh season. Akhmadaliev makes more sense than Goodman in Riyadh season.
That's a great fight.
Picasso makes sense in Vegas. So I think it's them two. And then if Goodman, if he is going to have a last hurrah, you know, and we're making assumptions here that he wins both of those fights, then it'd probably be Goodman in Christmas time, the December fight. Because Inoue usually does, like this one really should have been in December, and to be honest, I don't think he broke a sweat. So let's, you know, I think he could do 3 fights in the year, and then he's.
My only worry
I think
is.
then he steps up to 126, and I think the Saudis want, and I think a lot of other people want to see him against Nick Bull, and I think that's a huge.
Yeah, but the Saudis might want that quicker than.
I think in a way he's got enough pull to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, but the Saudis have got enough money to say you're doing it.
I think he's got enough. They paid him 15 million just to be an ambassador. I don't think he has to.
So,
he doesn't have to fight anybody.
Yeah, they paid him 15 million to be an ambassador, so they've got pull.
Well, I think they also want the Akhmadaliev fight, isn't it? So I think that's going to be the thing, and obviously they want the Vegas fight first. So I think it's either be Goodman as his third fight, or it'll be Nick Bull. He steps up. Depending on if he goes straight for the title, he might want to acclimatise at 126, because as we've said a few times, the 126 division is quite
Saudis won't let him.
Tough.
This is the problem. I think the Saudis are fantastic for boxing, but the problem you've got with it is you kind of do what they tell you.
I think in a way he's got enough. He's big enough name to do what he wants to do. I don't think he has to be. I don't think he has to fight again. Put it like that. I think he can pick who he wants to do.
He's forgetting money talks, mate.
He's got lots.
He hasn't got as much as you think. Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
he gets paid
but that's
more than he'll get paid in Vegas.
They could stop him.
He's the biggest name up to that weight, and probably he's getting paid more than any super. He's getting paid more than any featherweight.
No, you're being too much of a fanboy with him.
He's getting paid more than any super featherweight. You're probably only going to get to the lightweight division where there's people who are getting paid the kind of money he is, and they might not even be getting that. That's why he doesn't need to fight out there. But I think it's good that he is going to have the 2 fights out. Yeah. Well, it can be Nick Bull, but from what he's said and what they've said before, I don't think this year he's stepping up, because I think he's maturing into this weight. Because you've got to remember, he's only just stepped up really over a year or two, and then he's going to step up.
This is his 4th fight in this weight. You can't say he's stepping into it. He's an established.
Well, he stepped in and beat the best guy in the division, and then the second best guy in the division, and then the 4th best guy in the division, and then he's gone through it like a hot knife through butter. But anyway,
we'll see what happens. I think you'll be very, very surprised at the landscape of Inoue in the future.
Well, I think after that he steps up, and then it becomes interesting, because I think there's a few beasts in the featherweight division, isn't it? And they're big. They look like big featherweights, not like. So it is going to be, and there's a load of them with Pop, a la Ball and Co, and Figueroa. There's Ball, Vargas has got Pop, all of them, and then you've got other fighters in there who are quite good as well. So it's a good division.
We shall see what happens. But he just needs to fight. In my eyes, he needs to fight Akhmadaliev.
Yeah, well, I think that, like you said, it's a 2 in it. Picasso makes sense, and that's why I'm saying Picasso and Akhmadaliev make sense this year. And then the only one is if he gets through them, like he's gone through the other people, where they're not hard, rugged fights. He just does what he does. Then Goodman in December, and then next year, then I think the fight would be probably whenever they start, April, May time. I think then it'd be Nick Bull, if he's going to step up. And then it's what Nick Bull does this year as well, isn't it? Because I think there's stuff for him to do in that division as well, isn't it? In featherweight.
You just
And then the other side of it, we're going up, isn't it? What about Bam Bam and Nakatani? Because there's talk of that. But as Bam said, I think he's too far away yet in weight.
Yeah.
He said himself, I need to, and he's got stuff to do in his division at 115. I think Nakatani's still got stuff to do in his division because he's only, there's the one belt holder. Then the only issue he's got is because all the belt holders in bantamweight are Japanese. And then do they really want a Japanese versus Japanese one? Because it'd be him stepping up. I don't think Inoue goes down.
It doesn't matter whether it's Japanese, but we do it. We did it. You do British v British all the time. Can't just because he's countryman, you not fight. You've got to.
No, but I mean, it's more that he's got to go through his own division yet. Because you got to remember, Inoue's double undisputed. Neither Bam Bam or Nakatani have done anything similar yet. Yeah, they're really good, they're talented, but they haven't done anything. They haven't cleaned out the division. They need to clean out the divisions.
You're being too much of a fanboy again, mate.
Yeah.
It's not good.
But it's a fact. He's a double undisputed
champion. So you're saying
champion.
Bam Bam's nothing, basically.
Compared to Inoue, yeah. And Nakatani is nothing compared to Inoue.
Wow.
There's only Usyk and, what's his name, Crawford on that
level. So Bam Bam being a two-weight world champion's nothing?
No, it's compared to everybody else, but compared to Inoue. Inoue's a 4-weight world champion and a 2-weight undisputed champion. You can't compare the two.
Wow.
At this moment in time, that's not to say I think Bam Bam will get there, because I think Bam Bam can clear out his division. And I think Nakatani can do his.
Wow.
But I think both of them would have to step up, and I think Bam Bam is a little bit yet too far away, especially if Inoue goes up to Super Bantam. And Nakatani, I think, is a little bit, not Super Bantam, featherweight, and then Nakatani's still a bit away. So I think the fight that makes sense between them is Nakatani and Bam Bam, if they get to, respectively, before if they're going to go after Inoue or not. So yeah, I think Nick Ball is the obvious one, up in weight, rather than him sticking around for the others. Even though Nakatani and him would be a huge, huge, huge fight.
Yeah, it would be a massive fight. Like I say, we just have to wait and see on the landscape. It can change very quickly.
Yeah, and this is assuming he wins.
Yeah.
just to think, I've got the odds for the fight. I think we gave him in our video as well, but just as it gone into the contest, it was minus 10,000, which is 1 to 100 on Inoue, and Eugene Kim was 16 to 1 plus 1,600.
Wow.
So, but that's basically what happened. So
yeah,
it's quite huge odds.
Huge, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100 to 1 on favourite. Yeah, so we will see, but it's exciting anyway. And good to see that he's going to come to Vegas and he's going to go to Saudi as well. So, yeah. And then those people who go, he doesn't fight outside, can shut the hell up. And I can do more fanboying.
God help the day when he gets knocked spark out. You're gonna need therapy.
Well, I've said, isn't it, the only person who can beat him, and I think that's why there's the lower weights is less chance, is somebody with the pop, a la Nick Ball, who's because you've got a chance. Because I don't think anybody in
you'd be
other than Bam Bam and Nakatani, because they're smaller, there's nobody else who can outbox them. There's nobody in that division can outbox them, and I don't even think there's anybody in featherweight who can outbox them on boxing skill. So it's got to be you got to bully him or have the pop and power. Would you agree? Or
no,
am I being
think he
fanboy
can
again?
be. Yeah, he can be outboxed.
Yeah, I agree. But who in those divisions can outbox him? The only two I would say with skill-wise is Bam Bam and Nakatani, but as we said, they're too small at this moment in time. In his division, who do you think outboxes him? Goodman doesn't. Ahmed Aliyev doesn't. Picasso...
In his division, no, but there are people who could outbox him in higher up.
Featherweight, who do you think?
I think Nick Ball could bully him.
Yeah, I don't think he outboxes him. I can see some of these bullying him because the size, because of like Ball's ferocity. And they've got pop. If they've got power, I can see somebody doing something. But I don't think any of them, skill-wise, are better than Inoue is. But I could see Ball worrying him. Vargas could worry him. even a Figueroa because he's lanky and tall and he's got the thing.
This
Yeah, I can see him getting beat. I didn't say I can't see him getting beat. I don't think anybody outboxes him, though. Skill level, I think the three best of the lower divisions is Bam Bam, Nakatani, and him. Even up to, until you get to like... until you get to lightweight, and then you've got the Shakurs, Javantas, Lomas, and co, and people. Then that's a stacked division with people.
He'll never move up to lightweight. So.
Yeah, he's too small. Well, you've got to get through super featherweight, and super featherweight, I don't think there's anybody of the same level of skill. You've got like Navarrete or Shaki Foster, who are huge. Kakache's big, not as big as those, but Conceição, you've got the Cordina and co. It's like I said, but they could all weight bully him, and they're ferocious fighters. So, and featherweight, I think it's the same thing. It's whether if you can take the weight and get bullied by them, either by the height or the ferocity or the thing. But I don't think skill level anybody's even close.
Okie dokie.
Apart from Bam Bam and Nakatani, up to just before lightweight. Anyway, that's enough fanboying. Right, so we got it right. 4th division KO. It's good. Simon is holding his head in his hands.
Oh, God. And if you do know any good therapists for when anyway,
let us know your thoughts. Do you think anybody can box at that level? And you want to do your bit?
Come on, people. Give him some negativity. Yes, I'm an Inoue fan as well, but some of his comments in there were horrendous.
Bob Adams said he's the best boxer he's ever seen in 60 years of watching boxing.
Is it? It's funny that...
Let's take out the fact that he promotes.
Because he promoted Manny Pacquiao, who was, an 8-weight world champion? But,
yeah,
but that's nothing, is it? Because, Inoue's a 2-weight world undisputed, so...
yeah, and 4-weight world champion.
Jesus.
And soon to be 3-weight undisputed.
If he becomes a 3-weight undisputed, I will run from here to Manchester butt naked and back. That's how confident I am he would not become an undisputed.
Well, we'll have to blur
3-weight.
some bits, but we'll put that on the video. We'll put that
I'm telling you
on
now,
video.
it's not going to happen.
We shall see.
Yeah,
but anyway,
cool.
But yeah, epic performance. Let us know what you think. So do the usual, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know your comments. Do you think he's the best in the lower weights?
I'm gutted it's in Vegas, his next fight now.
You're going to watch it.
Yeah, I like these
forgot about these things.
these afternoon fights, mate.
The Saudi and the thingy times make sense. But the best one is their time in the Tokyo, because you can...
Yeah, we need more
good for us timing.
More fights in Japan, please.
Yeah. But he gets a big audience. I think that place is, what did we say, Ari Kane's about 13,000? Something around there? 14,000? 14,000? And it was full.
Is that all? Like Carl Froch would say, mate, filled out Wembley, 80,000, boom. It's nothing compared to that.
Well, no, but in most of the boxing arenas, it's quite big. Well, he's for 50,000 in his thingy, didn't he? Maybe. For he's filled up before, so in the Tokyo Dome.
These are nothing, tiny.
We'll see.
Wouldn't even fill out Anfield.
Can't believe you've mentioned Carl Froch's name in the same context as Naoya. Come on, me fanboying is bad enough. Come on, you need to explain
That's
yourself.
because I've just watched the Matchroom Awards and they put bloody Carl Froch into the Matchroom Hall of Fame.
To be fair to him, he does
because of his 80,000 at Wembley.
Yeah.
God. Anyway.
You just need Joe Calzaghe to shut him up, isn't it?
Oh, God, I wish.
Anyway, leave that where it is.
Yeah.
So, yep, let us know what you think. Like and subscribe, comment, and we will see you in the... Oh, actually, we're going to do some of what other fights have happened.
Oh, yeah, there were a load. There was a 12-hour DAZN
we'll
special on.
So...
it wasn't the most exciting of fights, but there was some important fights there.
Matchroom event, isn't it? So I think it was mainly Eddie Hearn giving a lot of his...
All Matchroom events. I was to be honest, I was watching, because obviously Eddie was in the States but he did a live watch along while he was watching the UK once. I was watching that. Yeah, it was. To be honest,
Well,
every
I think
result,
Dalton Smith deserves a mention. It was a really good
Does he?
performance. But I
guy-
didn't know who he was fighting. But
the
it's
guy
supposed
he
to be
was
the
in
guy he's
with-
fighting was supposed to be quite good. He's a European, well, he's become a European champion. So
He took him out in the round, and the guy looked like he didn't want to be there. And if that guy is the best that Europe has to offer, then the level that Dalton Smith at is way, way, way past the European level.
yeah, I think he's a world level. Where in world level we'll find out, but I think he's there. Dalton Smith is super lightweight, 140 pounds, I think.
Yeah, he's got I think he's mandatory
Who's
now.
in-
I think he's going to have one more fight, and then they're going to push for a title.
Is it super lightweight? What's Adam Azim? Is
Yeah, he's in
Super
the
lightweight.
Jack Cattrall.
Jack Cattrall one, yeah. So super lightweight, yeah. But this is like, yeah, as we stacked.
They offered Adam Azim the Dalton Smith fight for Saudi on the...
Yeah, he's Dalton Smith. He's 12 on
no.
WBO now.
Yeah, they offered him it for the Eubank Ben card. Boxer turned it down. Again. So...
There's some mention of Smith versus Parra. That'd be a good world level step up, isn't it? But a bit too soon.
No,
or you
he
think?
needs that type of fight. Now, he needs a... Do you know what I'd love to see him win against? Like a Pro Grey.
Well, that was mentioned as well.
Yeah, but Pro
Grey's,
Grey's
isn't it?
fighting and is...
Well, I think Pro Grey's got to fight, but if he gets through that, then
No,
the
I don't think it'd be too late then. I think Dalton Smith needs... Mate, Dalton Smith...
because he's called out. I think he's the higher up in the WBC, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is his one, because that's what he's the European, and I think because he's number 2 after Sander Martin. So I think Sander Martin and Puello are fighting. Puello's defending his WBC, and then I think Dalton Smith's pushing that because he's above Jack Cattrall in that because Jack Cattrall's 3rd on the WBC. So I think that's the one he's pushing where he's high up. In the others, he's all lower down.
Praro would be a really good fight for him.
I think it'd be
Really,
a good
really,
measure.
really good. Be a good fight for Praro as well.
It's a good opportunity for both, and Paro now, it's a big enough name for Dalton Smith to step up with, in it.
Oh, and if Dalton Smith beats him, like...
Convinced, like he did there. Yeah, then he's in that conversation.
I rate this kid.
Well, it was a good performance. I think if you take out the opponent level, but I think some of it you've got to realise that he's made him look that bad.
He's very, very powerful for that weight. Doesn't really waste punches. It seems like every punch he throws is a hurter.
Yeah. What is it? With intent.
Yeah. But yeah, a Pro Grey.
I think Pro Grey would be a good step up, and then somebody like a Paro.
Yeah, I
And
don't know
think
whether
depending-
I think Pro Grey's fighting in March. Like I say, I think Dalton Smith needs to be. Look, he didn't break a sweat in that fight. He could.
really.
He could genuinely. I think he.
Josh Taylor? As a step before, because that's the equivalent of a Pro Grey, isn't it?
I love that, Nemo.
That's a good call, isn't it?
I love that. Wow.
Do you know why I said it? I just want Josh Taylor to get smashed. And I think he would.
Be a tough fight, but that
No,
would
but
see where
That,
he is.
Yeah, that might be a little bit. I might be worth having somebody then that level.
No.
But-
Put him straight in with it.
But that's a big fight.
And Josh Taylor just signed with Matchroom as well.
Has he?
Sure he has. So it'd be an
Then
easy
it becomes
fight
easy to make. Him or Paro would be a really good measure. Are you really world class? Because both of them obviously are.
I'll just get on the phone to Eddie and tell him to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, defo.
Because I haven't seen Taylor fighting anybody else, and I don't think any of the top lot
It's a
are going
good
to come
fight,
to
that.
there. He doesn't make
Really
sense.
good fight.
Cattrall should be ahead of him and all that. And then the other one is obviously just the WBC stuff. But if he's the number 2 contender behind Sander Martin, then the obvious fight is after the winner of Puello and Martin pushes him up.
Good fights.
But I think he probably needs one in between. He needs one of those.
He needs a big step up now. A really
as
big
much
step
for
up.
his own confidence and things.
Really big step
and
up.
to see what is it like to fight a real world class fighter.
So let's
and then that one would make sense.
Let's step him up.
Yeah. But yeah, he was good. There was 3 of the new fighters, so we'll just give them a quick mention. Zakin Moses, I hope I've said that correctly. The fight got stopped in the first round. He looked quite good. Zakin Moses is the cousin of Shakur, I believe. So he trains out of there. He looked quite good, although level of opponent.
Yeah,
it was a last minute opponent.
The thing is you just look out for these little prospects, keep watching them because they're going to be.
I think that's why I'm just giving a mention.
They're going to be very active over the next 12 months.
There's Harley Medeiros, who, did he take 2 rounds? Yeah, it was a 3rd round knockout, isn't it? But the guy he was fighting was quite tough. But yeah, he just. It was quite. He's got 8 wins, I think, and 7 KOs in those.
Not bad.
So yeah, he's heavy-handed as well. Looks the part, and yeah, he was there. And then we had Nishant Dev, Indian fighter, in his first professional fight. I think he's been in Olympics and stuff. And Eddie's picked him up from there. And yeah, he won in the first round as well. And he was quite good performance. So there's 3 of them there. And then I haven't watched the fight, so should we do that one or not? Pacheco and Nelson, have you seen?
I have watched the fight.
Pacheco outpointed Stephen Nelson to
be honest, Nelson, I think his chin is made of granite. He got caught with loads of shots. Pacheco faded last couple of rounds. Nelson really put it on him. Mm-hmm. Fair dues to him. Got a bad cut, which I think affected his game plan. But Pacheco's still only 23, 24?
Very young. They're saying he's sort of the natural successor to Canelo?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Needs a couple more.
On his way.
Yeah, needs a couple more tough fights like that. Because that 12 rounds would have been good. He, to be fair to him, he stuck to the game plan and showed a great variety of punches. Like a Munguia next or something.
Yeah. Because obviously there's Mbili and Munguia in that.
Yeah, and Billy would be a good
Munguia
fight.
was flying until
he's not ready for. He's nowhere near ready for Canelo.
No.
But yeah, I'd throw him in with the likes of a Munguia or a Mbili next. Really test him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a test last night, but.
Well, you've got to step it up, isn't it?
He took care of it pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah.
He did take care of it pretty well. So.
And there's a few others in that division as well you could go for. So there's the Balanga. Be a good step of Balanga, Munguia.
Caleb
Arman
Plant.
Suras now? Caleb Plant, yeah, good call.
I think
Shishkin and Skull, although I'm not sure they're Iglesias probably a bit ahead. So
you can't go backwards, so we need one of them. I'd say any of the top 5. Give them a fight
there's
next.
a good top 10 there, isn't it?
Yeah,
really,
so
of different. You could fight against different skills because all of them have different skill sets, but they're all high level. So yeah, I don't think he's ready for Canelo yet either. Mm-hmm. But so there's a bit there, and then there was you think Eddie Hearn's got another fighter, the Cruz.
Eddie Hearn's got a lot of fighters.
Yeah. Well, they were bigging him up, isn't it? What division is Cruz in? Because they were mentioning him. He was saying he's got his there's Mercado and thingy, but that was the one Cruz yesterday. And why are they not mentioning him on here? Let me just bring up the fights. Let's go back. That's that one. Smith, yeah. It's Cruz versus Gamez. And he won in unanimous decision. So he's only had 4 fights in it, but this is one of his where is he? In lightweight. So he's a lightweight contender. So he says, and I think they want to get him to fight. Let me just find it. Oh, Keyshawn Davis he was mentioning with, and he reckons he's better than Keyshawn.
Okay.
You don't sound convinced, Simon.
You can't,
I think I'll give you a bit of context. I didn't know this, but I heard it when he was talking about it. He says basically they had Keyshawn Davis when he was starting, Eddie, and then I think they let him go because they didn't think he was there. And then he said obviously he's now improved a huge amount and he's getting to where, and I think Cruz he says is like from one of his amateur level and stuff, it's higher there. So they think that's once he gets there, he's better. But he's only had 4 fights yet, but. Yeah, lightweight is a stacked division.
Yeah, so like I say, just keep watching all these newbies. And
well, it's nice to know this is coming along, and Eddie's got a few now. These all look good.
A lot of them might go in
in
the new leagues.
Yeah, and it's good to see, and from different places, so different styles, different things. There's a few coming up. So, yeah, it was interesting. They're all basically short fights as well, which is easy to watch. I think the other fights, the Cruz and Co. went to 10-12, so I haven't watched it fully, but we'll watch. Yeah, cool. Okay, and I think that's brought it pretty much up to date, so we will leave it there.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Thank you very much for watching.